Hey everybody, welcome back to Masked Pundit TV. So in today's video I am going to be giving my preview and my prediction for tomorrow's game, which will be Arsenal versus Slavia Prague in the Champions League. So yeah, let's get into it. I want to do this quite quickly because in all honesty I want to go to sleep, but you know what? Left it, yeah, but we'll get it done. We'll never second. Alright, let's get into it. So it's another one of those games that I think, I'm expecting hostile atmosphere away in the Czech Republic at Slavia Prague. Their fans, they can be quite hostile. They're a very, very passionate fan base. You know, I'm not going to pretend to be too familiar with Slavia Prague because I know honestly I'm not. I know I think they got two draws in the Champions League. They got a draw against Atalanta. I think they got a loss as well. If I'm remembering right, and they also have not lost a game in the Czech League so far. They're unbeaten over there, but obviously different levels of quality. And I mean that with the greatest respect, of course. They got some players like Sherney, their striker. He's a big, tall striker. He's a big man. So he could cause us problems. And then they have is it Kushej on the wing? Looks quite pacey, quite agile. Could cause us some problems there. So we'll do have to be wary, but I'm expecting some heavy rotation from Arsenal and some rotation you might not expect when I get into the lineup. And I could be completely wrong on this, but this is, we have a lot of injuries. That it doesn't feel like we have this many injuries as we did last season. And I'm not using injuries as an excuse. Okay, every team has injuries. But last year they were definitely a lot more noticeable. But this time out doesn't feel like we have as many injuries, but we actually do if you look at it, especially in the attacking areas. So there's some interesting rotations there, But let's get into it. Let's get into the lineup. Go on. So first things first, of course, let's get the obvious one out of the way. Sorry. In goal, David Raya. I mean, he will play this game. Kepa is for Carabao Cup and some of the FA Cup games. And only if David Raya cannot play, other than that. So, and I think David Raya can play. There's been no injury updates on it or concerns about him at all. So, yeah, David Raya. Right back, we're going to go with Julian Timber. Yeah, he had a good rest against Brighton in the Carabao Cup game. Obviously played against Burnley, but it wasn't too much of a physical game on him. So, yeah, he'll be absolutely fine. I have no concerns about him playing this game. Right centre back, obviously, we're going to go with Mosquera. Again, I'm expecting rotations, as I said. Saliba had the injury concern quite recently, didn't he? So, we're in a position we don't need to risk him, so why would we? I'm more than happy for Mosquera to play there. The left centre back could be Gabriel. Again, was rested in the Brighton game. So, yeah, again, I've got absolutely no problems with him playing there. He's our leader. He is so important to our backyard, and just with his leadership as well. That goes unnoticed as well. Sometimes I feel like, but his leadership is so pivotal to us as well. And then left back. Now I'll explain why I would go with Hincapié personally, and I'll explain why. But I think Arteta is going to go with Lewis Skelly. I think Calafiori will get a rest. I think Lewis Skelly will play in the left back position. But and again, I have absolutely no problems with that either. Lewis Skelly is doing a fantastic job whenever he comes in. But I would go with Hincapié, and I'll explain why. Let's get into the midfield. So for the midfield now, Marzo Mendy can't play this game. He is suspended for this game, so there'll be no Zubimendi, and Declan Rice is also on a booking already. He is one yellow card away from missing the Bayern Munich game, which I think is the much more important game, with the greatest respect to Slavia Prague, obviously. Now, so I would you were scary to be in the midfield, because again, it just offers us more depth, more rotation. You could even put Ben White in midfield. Ben White used to play in the midfield for when he was at Leeds United on his own all those years ago from Brighton. But yeah, I think the midfield is going to be, first of all, Christian Nogel. He's reliable, and he's done a job whenever he's needed to come in for those few minutes. It was a poor first half for him against Brighton, but he managed the second half very well. So yeah, he'll get some minutes as well. Can help us see out the game again. He's just experienced. And then next to him, Going to go with Mikel Merino. Now again, Gyökeres won't play this game. He's injured and obviously went off at half time with the injury against Burnley. So Merino was one of the choices for centre forward, but don't worry, I do have it planned out. I do have it planned out how I think it will go. So yeah, I think Merino will play in the centre mid role, and just ahead of them, gonna go with Wanieri. Now you might be able to start seeing the vision. Wanieri had a very good game against Brighton, I thought. Obviously he recently signed a new contract, so it'll be good to see him get some more minutes. And yeah, I think Wanieri can certainly do a job there. But now we're going to get into the front three, and it will make sense why I've gone with that midfield. So up front, the front three. Now I'm going to list off some of the injuries we got. Okay, Victor Gyökeres won't play. Gabriel Jesus still out. Kai Havertz still out. Madueke still out. So you've got a few injury concerns there. Did I say Martinelli? I don't think I said Martinelli, did I? Martinelli won't play. So we are a little thin in that area, but we have players that can rotate and can adapt. On the right, we start off with the basic one, Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka will play. It won't be Max Dowman, but Max Dowman maybe if we go like a goal or two up, Max Dowman can come on, see the game out, and give him some few minutes and rest Bukayo Saka a bit. But yeah, it will be Saka. You need your experienced heads and your big game players for this game. On the left, Eberechi Eze. I didn't even out the lineup. I do think he'll play on the left. Again, so it gives us more rotation in the midfield, more freedom in the midfield. And also because, again, Martinelli won't play. And since I think Merino is going in the midfield, that means that up front, I think it will be Leandro Trossard. So, I'm not the biggest fan of him up front, in all honesty. But yeah, he's been on decent form for us recently. He's been playing pretty well. So, I'm not going to criticise him, obviously. Whilst we've not got many options. It's definitely worth a gamble. But that is it for my lineup. That was my predicted lineup. Again, a lot of rotations, as I said. But, what can you do? I still expect us to win this game. No disrespect to Slavia Prague. I'm going to say I was going to say a 3-0 win. But away from home, hostile crowd, I'm going to say a 2-0. I think the crowd, the atmosphere at Czech will make a big difference in this game. But yeah, I'm going to still say a 2-0 win. I'm going to back us to win, and that's another 2-0 win in the Champions League. So yeah. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Share the video around, all that good stuff. It's greatly appreciated. Subscribe as well. Go on, you want to. Yeah, I'm sorry if I've rambled on a bit again. I am very tired and I need to go to bed. And I'm going to do just that after I upload this video. So yeah. But hope you enjoyed the video and enjoy the game tomorrow. Remember, this is the earlier kickoff in the Champions League. This is at 8:15 instead of quarter to six. Sorry, instead of the 8 o'clock. Yeah, I'm rambling. Good night.